Legend of Total War here with a new campaign series for Stainless Steel 6.4. So today I'm going to be playing the early era campaign as the Byzantine Empire on the hardest difficulty. Well, at least on very hard difficulty. In terms of Stainless Steel 6.4, this is not the hardest difficulty because I'm not using big screen realism, which makes the game a lot more difficult. However, I feel personally that it also makes the game not fun. I actually quite enjoy playing very hard difficulty on this game. I think they did it right with the difficulty setting. I think it could have been a little bit more difficult in terms of like the campaign setting, but I don't particularly like loads and loads and loads of AI cheats, like what the AI get in the newer Total Wars. And in this, I mean, they get bonuses, but they don't get cheats. They're still restricted to the same rules that apply to you. That's what I really like about, well, one of the things that I really like about Medieval 2, as opposed to the newer Total Wars. Okay, so in addition to that, I've turned on Gracul AI, which again makes the campaign more difficult without making it too frustrating. It makes the AI more aggressive, it makes them far less reliable, which is very much in line with what I'm like. I'm very unreliable in this game to the AI. If I was ever to play in a hot seat again, which I won't, I'm usually pretty damn reliable. Usually, you know, it depends on the situation, as with anything. But anyway, so I've got Gracul AI installed. I don't have big screen realism. I don't have real recruitment enabled, and the reason for that is just that I don't particularly like having crap stacks. But Legend, you have loads of crap stacks in your newer Total War games. We're talking about Medieval 2 now. Let's give it to Medieval 2. But in Medieval 2, I don't really like having crap stacks. And what I mean by crap stacks is not necessarily about the quality of troops. What I mean by crap stacks is actually you've got a stack of 20 units, of which 17 different unit types in there, just because all the different types of units all over the place. I much prefer a sort of more uniform army. It makes it a lot easier to manage the front lines and manage how you're going to fight your battle. But if you've got, I've got Slav levy here, Khwarezmian levy there, Balkan levy here, you got all different units from all over the place. Your army looks like a dog's breakfast, looks like a giant pile of shit. And I don't particularly like that. So it's just a personal preference of mine. Now I know also that some people are going to be like, oh, why not do the late era campaign? Late era campaign, more challenging, Legend. Why not do late era campaign? Well, I've played the early era campaign and the late era campaign. Yes, the late era campaign is more challenging. The Byzantine position's nowhere near as good. Their enemies are stronger. The Byzantines are weaker. However, I can do it either way. It's not. I would say it's not necessarily not a challenge, but it's not that difficult. The reason why I'm going with early era campaign is because I want to have fun. I enjoy the earlier period. I like building my settlements from scratch, essentially. And that's, at this stage here, the beginning of the 12th century, all the settlements, apart from like Constantinople, have like no buildings in them. So we get to build our empire from scratch. And I enjoy that aspect of the game. Same with the AI. You get to sort of build up, it's a race to who can get the most of the rebel settlements, and then start conquering who can conquer the most. And I enjoy that sort of race towards things. So that's what I want to do in this. In addition to that, the way this campaign, I sort of wanted to do this campaign fairly lighthearted. As I've said before, I don't want to be doing lots and lots of challenge campaigns anymore. As far as Stainless Steel 6.4 is concerned, I feel like I've already done the most difficult challenge that I could do, which is the Khwarezmian late era campaign with big screen realism. That was truly a difficult campaign, but it wasn't a fun campaign. And as if you ever were to go back and watch that, you'll notice my commentary during it is constantly bitching and whining and complaining, because I'm just like, I can't use my generals because they're just going to betray me, and all these really arbitrary restrictions. It just seems like everything is up against you, and you have so few resources to use. Yes, it does make it challenging, but I've already proven, even with small resources, I can handle it. It doesn't make it fun. It makes it a grind, or it makes it a chore. And at the end of the day, this is a computer game. It's a video game. Let's have some fun. And I think you guys will enjoy that more. And I think it's only a minority of people really that are the loud minority that are like, hey, you're not even playing on late campaign. I'm not fucking watching this. Or you're not even using big screen realism. Get a life, you cunt. Or something like that. And then of course, I've started using the dumbass voice a lot lately, and people are now starting to say, Legend uses the dumbass voice for comments we never see. You gotta understand that whenever I use the dumbass voice, it's preemptive, okay? If I use the dumbass voice and say, why are you doing late era campaign? if you see a late Eric, there's not going to be any questions like that in the comments. And if there aren't any questions like that in the comments, fucking mission success, because that's the whole point of the dumbass voice. It's to deter people from posting those comments in the first place, not necessarily to pay out or to direct attention to the people that have already posted it. That was sort of like the reading the dumbass comments things. That's where I drew attention to the dumb comments. So that's the whole point of it. And I'll continue doing the dumbass voice because I think it's funny. I enjoy doing it. It's no effort on my part. And I know, I've been doing this channel for 5 years. And I can tell you that the dumbass comments were pretty fucking consistent throughout the entire time until I started, basically preemptively paying them out. And then all of a sudden, they vanish. Because nobody wants to be the dumbass. Nobody wants to say the thing that's already mentioned in the video. If I, like I said, if I was to say, why aren't you doing, the late era campaign, and then someone posts that, they're just going to get destroyed in the comments. And I honestly, this is one of the things I do really like about you guys. When someone posts a dumb comment, you guys fucking pounce on them like I don't know, like you should. And that's exactly what I want. Oftentimes when I see you guys just fucking jackhammer some person to say, why isn't you doing this? Or whatever. I honestly sit there and I smile as I read, like No Pink or whatever, just tear them apart. And just like, you haven't been here very long, Legend's gonna destroy you and all this kind of stuff. I'm just like, I've created the community that I want. It's worked. And that's why I do what I do. I wouldn't do this stuff if it doesn't fucking work. Yes, man. But people often say as well, you'll never be the biggest Total War YouTuber, or you'll never be the biggest YouTuber. It's like, when was that ever my fucking goal? Do you think coming onto the scene, swearing a lot, and being abrasive as shit, shit isn't necessarily abrasive, but it's just a term, do you think being the way I am would naturally... because that's in everyone's guidebook to becoming a big YouTuber. All the big YouTubers they totally insult their subscriber base and totally, be abrasive. It's not the kid-friendly channels that get all the views, is it? And of course it is, because people come onto the YouTube and they don't want to have a hard time, or they don't want to be challenged intellectually, necessarily. And I don't necessarily challenge people intellectually. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Going on a tangent. So anyway, let's get on with this. I don't know, to be honest, I kind of enjoy talking about the YouTube experience and talking about you guys more than actually talking about the campaign, because at the moment the campaign's, we're just getting started. There's nothing that much to talk about. I know that when I talk about this stuff, I tend to look over things multiple times. It's mostly just because I've trained myself to do and speak at the same time, but at the same time while I'm speaking about stuff I'm not playing, I'm not really able to play properly. Just because obviously my mind is elsewhere. I might get this guy over here.
Orders. We can mark your orders.
No, over here. Now, if I recall correctly, you could take this settlement pretty much with just one general's bodyguard.
Yes.
But I might bring in the cavalry as well. Just as well. So I'll just keep them there. How much authority do you have? Okay, you're good. They're not going to revolt. Not going to defect.
Yes.
God's servant. Yes.
Also, another thing is I want to try and do this campaign without exploits. Now, exploits are arguable. Now, when I say exploits, I mean campaign exploits. As far as I'm concerned, there is no such thing as a battle exploit. All's fair in love and war sort of thing. But in the campaign map, it's certainly a lot easier to bullshit the AI. Like, for example, putting one unit here, besieging it, and putting the rest of your army behind it. That's half-half sort of exploit. Same with campaign movement bugs, diplomacy bugs, that kind of shit. I pretty much know them all. I'd like to play this without using them, just because as much as it helps me to get through the campaign a lot quicker, it's not necessarily more fun. And if we're not having fun, then really what's the point? Yeah, I need churches. Alright, so we've got to do something about the Turks. So what I might do is bring the troops from Constantinople over here. If they attack us, we should be able to repel them. How many troops do they have?
As much as you may wish.
So even with the additional troops coming in, they'll still have a larger army. However, the Athanatoi, they count for like fucking 5 units. They're so damn strong, especially in the early era, when there's not as much armor-piercing shit.
Yes.
It's the armor that does it. They're just so well armored. So yeah, I think primarily what we need to be doing is just getting our shit together as quickly as possible and taking as many of these regions as we can before the AI take them. We'll need increased tax rates here because we don't want to run out of money. I mean, we're getting a good income coming through. It will also be a good idea, I think, to push the Turks back. I often forget that I've even got Nicosia over here. Do I have any ships close by? I don't even have a port here. So he's sort of just stranded here for the time being, but just put that there. Alright, so we should have a battle during the end turn there. Alright, let's move on. Alright, good stuff. Oh man, it's already getting hot. I'm going to turn on the fan. The fan shouldn't be that much background noise anymore. I've tried to adjust my levels so that it doesn't cause that much. I mean, it'll definitely be there. But it won't be long before I'm moved into place. Anyway. Should have moved back. And I don't want you to necessarily charge in just yet. Because if you charge in there, they're not going to get the full impact. Now, is there... Okay, yeah, I see. There's some extremely high ground over here. We should try and make use of that. So you just stay there, wait for them to show up. Double back around and try to get them if we can. Because that way, even if we don't catch them, we shot them with the cavalry eye. What is it pronounced? Cavalry? I don't know. That charge isn't going to work because they're all over the place there. I wish they'd have a little bit more unit cohesion because that was stupid of them. You need to get a good solid charge in. A good solid charge will fuck them up so badly. I think that's the general right there. That's how we're doing. Doing pretty well. But we've got to understand that only a third of my troops are going to be any good in melee. Getting shot in the back doesn't help, but I got to pull back in order to charge again. Don't worry too much about the Slav levies. I just need to pull through this. Not pull through, but charge through this to get to their archers. Their archers are the real threat.
Praise to our Lord.
Killing the enemy general
our
should
men
make a
have
bit of a difference.
slain the enemy general. Now his men will lose heart.
Back. That balance of power is just about even.
Only half the enemy force remain. Our men have fought long and are becoming tired.
So, I didn't really want the cavalry to take any damage just because I can't really replace those units, but at the same time I really can't justify letting these guys go.
For the moment, the enemy flee by the Lord above. Our
Yeah, it'll say heroic victory, but it's not a difficult battle just because the quality difference between the Anatolia
noble lord.
is
God
insane.
has delivered us this victory.
Sure, we could always use more Anatolia. I forgot to turn down the taxes. Oh well. So the Turks buggered off. Do we? Hang on, what do we start off with? We start off with a spy in Thrace.
investigating. Ready to trade.
I know some
Ready
people
to
give me a
trade.
lot of shit about merchants. It honestly doesn't matter. And they get so butthurt about it as well. I think what happens is that basically I've invalidated their worldview, and they think they're so good because they're good with merchants, which just requires no skill. And so when I say you don't even need merchants, they're like, oh, you've shattered my worldview. That's also known as butthurt.
Your Majesty.
They get butthurt.
Orders. Your Majesty.
Okay, now I want these guys to come down here and
Number one.
attack this settlement.
We shall continue at first light.
Alright, I want to move on ahead here.
Yes.
Don't give the
Yes,
Seljuks a chance to, is this rebel settlement? Yeah. Don't give them a chance to gain a foothold. Take them out now.
Orders.
Some people often say take the rebel settlements first, but I actually say take out whatever faction borders you first, because the rebel settlements will always just sit there. The other factions, especially on the harder difficulties, they'll build up fast.
Orders, my king.
Okay, how are we going to organise this? Do we have any other units here? Okay, I need to take one of the troops from here
This is a course we cannot plot. My lord.
and put them in the settlement because
Back to land, men.
I want to take all of them with me.
Onward. Your will. Move out. Onward. We continue tomorrow, my lord.
Galatia.
A good day's march ends.
Try and get some reinforcements from over here as soon as possible. And wherever I've got governors, send them somewhere to come and help fight. Can we get like a mercenary boat over
Yes.
here?
Very good. Very now.
Because I want to get this guy off the island. He's not doing me any good there. Like as a governor, I just don't need him there.
Orders. Move out.
Same with that guy as well. Come over here.
Plotting course now, my lord. We shall
Pick him up. Just leave behind like the archers. And get over there. I don't see the point in leaving large garrisons in settlements that don't make very much money in the first place.
Yes, my lord. Your orders, number one. Yes?
If I joined you up with them, these guys here probably won't sell you out. So you just go to Scopia for the time being, and they'll meet up with you again soon. Alright, let's see, what else we're going to build. Now, we can increase the taxes here. We've got to squeeze our regions as much as possible until we're filthy rich. And then we can lower the taxes and reinvest that money back into them. I've heard some people say things like, oh, you grow your economy faster if you just lower the taxes. No, not necessarily, because if you're not making enough money to build in the settlements, don't forget, the more you build in the settlements, the faster your population grows, and you get these buildings done. So you need to squeeze them of the taxes so that you can reinvest it back into the settlements, and only once you've actually got a sufficient amount of coin that you can pay for every building in every settlement, should you lower the taxes. Early stage of the campaign. Late in the stage of the campaign, late campaign, probably no need for high taxes. It's not the opposite with like Total War Attila and stuff. It's like early campaign, low taxes. Late campaign, high taxes. It's like, weird. See how I'm not really able to construct something in every settlement. Actually, I've only just managed to do it. But we also need a lot of troops because our forces are not that strong. So this is particle there shit. We gotta get to Ankara, but there's bound to be some armies along the way. What about a Trebizond? I'll build these guys. No, I don't have any... I should have built this. Gotta get the troops going. So yeah, as always, the episodes will be 90 minutes long, unless, you know, there's a crash. Also, so you guys know, the YouTube editor that I used to use to piece pieces of clips together has been removed. There is no YouTube editor anymore, which means, like, if at any point in an episode it just abruptly ends without an outro, I can promise you it's a crash. And if that happens, I can't piece them together anymore. I mean, I do have editing software at home.
Orders?
But the problem is that I use Bandicam, right, for my recording software, and
Yes, Lord.
it records in a compressed format that is perfect for YouTube. But for editing software, it's fucking horrible. So I record the video, and it just comes out like a couple of gigabytes, reasonably good quality, and I can just upload it straight away. What that does is it reduces the amount of time that I need to spend making each individual episode, so that I can spend more time making episodes, reading your stupid comments, reading your stupid emails, all that kind of shit that I always pay you guys out about. I can spend more time doing that if I'm not spending it editing. Because if you remember back in the really old days when I first started on YouTube, it would take me an entire 8 hours to make a 15-minute episode. That's how much work had to go into a piece of shit piece of shit video like that. And I do things now to try and just make it as easy as possible for me, so I can get this shit content online as quickly as possible. But the downside of this is that if it ever crashes, it splits the video up. And now that they've removed the YouTube editor, I don't know why they took it out. It was so perfect. What I used to be able to do is, if it crashed, just get back into the game, record from where I left off, and then, we'd have 2 clips. I'd put the 2 clips on YouTube, and then using the YouTube editor, just basically put the 2 clips together. No brainer right there. And then all of a sudden, YouTube's like, no, we're taking this away from you. I'm just like, why? So now, if it ever crashes after the 45-minute mark, I'll just upload that as the episode. And then, in the next episode, I'll be like, obviously there was a crash.
Yes?
There's going to be crashes. And I've got large address aware on, but there's still going to be crashes.
Your will. March.
It's just what happens when using a recording software. Because it uses up more RAM. I think. I do notice that when I'm not recording, the games crash a hell of a lot less than when they do record.
Yes. I am willing, but not able, Lord.
Alright, so for this settlement here, we'll just use him.
Move out.
I think he can take it on by himself.
This
Let
is
me
where
just
we
see
shall
what's in
meet
there.
the enemy. Laying siege. Is it time to take the walls, my
I think
lord?
he can do it by himself.
Orders?
Because if I send the other ones over here, they won't sally out. But if I put them there, they'll sally out. But like I said, I don't want to do that this time.
Your will. Yes, Lord.
It makes it too easy.
Yes?
Okay, neither of them is actually standing outside the settlement. Most of this army here is probably full of trash. I know it's larger than mine, but we've got 2 Athanatoi and 2 Scholarii. That's a big advantage. We've also got the Siphanotores, I don't know how it's pronounced, and those guys are lethal as fuck.
Orders?
So let's do this.
Yes.
So it even says the balance of powers in my favor, because most of them is just trash. The difficult part of this army is going to be the Turkoman cavalry. For the most part, I should probably just ignore them and just charge into their archers.
Men, bring our people honor.
Because you can get bogged down chasing
and
them.
most of all,
And if you just ignore them, they'll put themselves in a dangerous position to try and get you, or you just deal with them after the battle, or after the bulk of the enemy are gone. Because the thing is, archers, horse archers, they can rack up a lot of kills, but they rack up those kills fairly slowly. So if you win the battle quickly, they don't get that chance. Alright. We'll hold a defensive position here and we'll just see how that goes. Put you guys on the lower ground here, and you guys on the higher ground. Now they've got Turkish archers, so they'll outrange me. But we'll see if they'll still go within range. No, alright. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll start moving in there. Oh, they're moving in. Okay, good. I've often found that the flamethrower units are much better off used in sieges, in choke points, rather than on the field of battle. Because if they get charged, they're useless. They can't shoot if they're in melee. So I want you to hit that bodyguard right there. The cataphracts here should be able to take out the bodyguard without too much difficulty. Alright, I'm gonna all-out attack.
It is unwise to
Turn back
praise
around.
the day before sunset,
Charge the
but
Turkish
our
archers.
men are winning the battle and forging a world.
See, they send in the Turkoman cavalry here in melee just to try and save the general, but it's not going to be enough. There's 2 bodyguards. What are you doing? Just plows them like wheat. Go through this gap over here. Gotta get rid of the Turkish archers. The spear militia, they don't count for shit. The only units that I'm worried about are the archers. Honestly, bracing doesn't really do much. Unless they're like pikemen. They're all pretty much dead. Or maybe not. Seems like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I hope and kill that motherfucker. There's a lot of archers getting away, but there's still plenty more to kill. Hang on. Yeah, I think they've got 2 bodyguards here. Getting over here. Because flamethrower will just wreck them.
Our men have slain the Saracen general. Now we must send his men running
Come back over here,
to the
gotta kill the
desert.
other general. Right, burn them. Anatolia are way stronger than the Muslim bodyguard. One of you needs to go get rid of those Turkish archers. It doesn't really matter if Alexios dies, because
Only
he's an old
half
man.
the enemy force remains.
Turkish archers coming back, take him out. Okay, where'd their general go? I need to finish him off. he on the run? Where is he? There he is. Hopefully these Scholarii can catch him. I doubt it though. Yeah, he's broken. Oh, hang on. He's kind of lagging behind a little bit. Did we get him? No, he's up the front. Alright, no, we're not going to catch him.
The enemy flees the battle! Run down!
He had some
those
light cavalry,
worthless
but you know,
peasants!
what, turn 2? Or was it turn 3? Don't have enough. Or don't have access to any yet. However, we only lost 9% of our forces, and they lost 92%. Okay, it's just one man, don't worry about it.
All of Christendom!
It's like a 20-to-1 kill ratio, which is good. No, we killed them both. Oh, maybe one of the generals was actually just bodyguard. It wasn't actually a general.
Who do I face?
All right, so I don't know what's in there. But you need to besiege it firstly.
Approaching, my lord. We shall send them to hell or worse. Your will. Man, we march on our victims.
Doesn't look like it's going to be that
When
difficult.
shall we attack the walls then, my lord? Your orders? Yes, my lord. Yes?
I just leave the archers behind. So as soon as we've built a garrison quarters there, they should have free upkeep.
Yes.
And both of these guys
Yes, my lord.
will
Leading
come
the
up
men
through here.
ashore.
Now I don't need
Yes,
this
my
anymore.
Orders.
Now, if there's a large army over here, we're going to be in a bit of trouble, but I'm confident these guys will be fine. I mean, it's only turn 3. We're fine.
Yes?
Good, public order here is now satisfied. And it's best we convert it to a castle because it'll be more protected. This is going to be a difficult settlement to protect because the Kiev and Rus will attack us very early on. Because it's Gracul AI, that's what they do. We should probably get some. I'm going to need some cavalry. Got to get our troops together as soon as possible. I mean, it's all good and well to get our finances and build up our economic buildings, but we need some troops. At the end of the day, we've got a reasonable amount of money. So this settlement here is a large city, isn't it? Yeah. I think we'll be able to get to a huge city. It's difficult to get settlements to a huge city in this, but it's Constantinople, so we should be fine.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, you want to hire the units that you get here, which are the not so much them, but the Scholarii and the flamethrowers as often as possible because they can only be recruited there. These ones here, they're okay, but they're just swordsmen. There's nothing special about them. All right, moving on. And the Varangian Guard come from town hall buildings, like high tier town hall buildings. Good. The only thing that's going to concern me are the mortatoi. Once we get rid of them, these will not be a problem. Maybe I should have used the other guy that had 40 units, 40 men in it, but I'm pretty confident that doing it with this guy should be fine. He'll have 31.
My lord, the tide of battle seems to have turned against us. We must act and halt this turn of events.
I'll run up here real quick. Maybe charging down the hill at them would be best. Let them come out into the open. It'd be hard for them to protect their flanks. Well, not necessarily hard, they just won't do it. And also another thing is you want them to run around as much as possible before we charge in, because the sooner they get exhausted, that's, you know, extra morale and attack penalties that they lose. Defeat is almost a certainty. Well, it's only taking stats into account. Okay. Also, while they're shooting uphill, our armor is worth even more. Okay, hang on. We may have to charge into the general, and that's this one here. It's just in our way. It's an opportunity I can't ignore. Just basically bowls him right over. I lost a few men on that. Or was it just one? No, there's the second. Could have sworn I charged into the general on that. Which really would have helped. You gotta pull through it a little bit. You really want to break up their formations. Maybe that one was the general. Now they won't shoot because they don't want to shoot their friends. But their friends are dead, so it doesn't make any difference. So far I've lost 4 men. Don't necessarily need to charge into the archers, just going into melee is enough. Because they don't have the strength to attack these armored units. To damage them, I mean. They might kill 1 or 2. As long as these guys dick around, works for us. I've got to get rid of the archers. It'll give me more mobility on the battlefield.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Starting to lose a few men here and there. Not good. Okay, I want to pull them out of this. So what have we killed? We've killed half of them, but we've lost 40% of our forces. I should have charged into this one. I think that's the general. I could have sworn the other one. It said 152. I thought that was it. Still going to get rid of the archers, though. Alright, we're more than half my number still. Just go around them, and I'll charge into these archers again. Well, I didn't charge into them in the first place, but still. They're firing at a bad angle like this, so that's not going to do much. Try and avoid charging into them for now. We'll deal with them after we've dealt with the Morphatoid. Okay. If that doesn't break them, then... I wouldn't say nothing will, but... If that doesn't break them, at least it killed loads of them. It didn't break them.
Our men have fought long and are becoming tired.
If we're tired, so are these guys. So obviously I don't want these guys coming back. I want them to be as tired as possible before we charge into them. This time we're charging up a hill, but that should still work.
Lord preserve us!
Took a
We
lot
have
of damage
lost
on that
half
last
of our
volley.
men.
But we've moved the balance of power to be evenly matched now. That charge was particularly good. Okay, so they broke. Alright, now we deal with these guys. Charging downhill on them is a must. So that one there must be the general. And just plow
For the
right
moment,
through
the
them.
fortune of battle goes our way. Let's pray it remains as such. The enemy general
Yeah, so this one
flees
was the
like
general.
the coward he is. Press onward.
Once we
and
capture
the
him,
battle is in our favor.
then they'll have no
If we
morale
remain
left.
true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
The gate's closed, that's why they can't run him down properly. While the gate's open, they can do it.
Praise the Almighty. By the Lord above, our...
Like I said, we could do it with the 30 men that we had.
Blessed Lord, we thank you for delivering us. God be praised.
Fairly
for
sure even if
blessing
we had
us with
occupied it, that
victory.
barracks, it goes either way. Well, it was a stable, remember.
Your will.
So I don't think they recruited any additional units over there.
Yes, my lord. This is where we shall meet the enemy. Besieging settlement, my lord. They're going nowhere, my lord. Who do I face?
Okay. Let's see. I'll also need to quick save fairly often, I think.
Command.
Just in case it crashes. It shouldn't crash too much in the first few episodes, but once we really start getting into the guts of the campaign, there'll be a lot of data that's available, and it causes crashes.
My
Right, let's
lord.
do this.
Should we spare any of them? No matter how they beg, let none escape! Attack! Units, await my orders.
Right, let's start off using the archers. I know the Turkish archers are better, but we'll just see how we go. Okay, you come and knock. So just drop that. Run over here. Just any kills will do. So they've got Turkish, 2 loads of spear militia and a Turkish archer. Right. If these guys could take out the spear militia, actually, these guys would be good at doing that. Yeah, if they take out the spear militia, then we can send the cavalry to easily take out the Turkish archers. Should have got us get back. The leap that in quality between the small town walls and the large town walls in terms of the towers is ridiculous. I think the large town walls are actually the strongest towers in the game.
Excellent! We have breached our enemy's
Not in terms of
walls.
like durability, but in terms of how often they fire. It's like armor-piercing rounds that just fire like fucking machine guns. I've often said that taking on large towns are my least favorite settlements to take on. Okay, let's bring you in over here. You're probably going to get shot if you're not careful. Just step back.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Try and draw the Turkish archers out here, because you don't want to fight anyone in there, because you can't break them. And breaking them is the best way to kill them. Well, the other way is to wait for them to waste all their ammunition trying to shoot heavily armored units. That's another way. Okay, I think there's too few of the spear militia left to be able to really do any significant damage to our Anatolia.
It is unwise to praise the day before sunset. But our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory.
Alright, there we go. They just stand there anyway. Let's burn them.
The enemy general lies dead. Good riddance to that desert dog. Pray he's dead.
So yeah, it's obviously very good against high concentrations of units, but it's not particularly good at like getting rid of the last few troops.
Praise the saints! Our men have taken control of the city. All of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have.
We tore them apart, my lord.
Yeah, sack it.
Victory! We have
Cinema's not
crushed
particularly
them.
worth very
This
much,
place is yours, my
but
lord.
it's better in our hands than in the enemies. We didn't take many casualties.
Yes?
So this is Caesarea. I think we should push forward over here, attack them, rather than meet up with these guys. These guys should be able to take on Iconium, as it is. Maybe I'll just send, like... send them down to reinforce.
March! Bringing our troops together.
Name thy enemy, lord.
Your Majesty.
And I'll leave that guy
Yes.
behind here.
Command me. We march on our victims. We show little mercy. They deserve
A lot of
We shall
cavalry in
send
this.
them to hell or worse. March!
Okay, horse archers. Alright, we'll just need to deal with it. We could use our archers, I suppose. None of these are long range. They're not like fiery cavalry.
They will regret not fleeing first.
We should have
Kill them
saved it.
all, men! Units, await my orders.
And we start off with the low ground. That's okay. Definitely don't want flaming shot. Flaming shot sucks. Especially on very high difficulty. It just doesn't... It's only good for when they're already wavering and you just want that last little bit to make them break. That's all it's good for. Okay, you two come over here. You two go this side over this way. Let's just go behind. Alright, what I'm thinking about doing is just sending these two in at their flanks right now, because they're pretty much tanks. They can shoot them all day long, they're not going to die. And I think that'll send their front line up this way. Sipahi Lancers will be fine against them. So it just rolls right over them
The
pretty much.
battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
Okay, only one Sipahi Lancer left. Good. Make that none. Good, now we've got the Turkish archers over here. Ready for us to shoot them. Should easily be able to roll over this vehicle by charging into them.
The enemy only the battle. Glorious heaven above! Our men have captured the enemy general. Guard him well. Give the dog some wine, and be sure he can see us defeat the rest of his army.
And we just need 1 more percent in order to wipe this army out.
Praise the Almighty! Our enemy has lost his stomach to fight.
Alright,
We
good.
must
It
push
should have
our
wiped them out.
advantage.
This is a clear...
We took more casualties in that battle than we did against the larger army in the previous turn.
No, wise and
No, I'm not fucking ransoms.
we tore them apart, my lord. Victory! Name thy enemy, lord.
Alright, now. What kind of obstacles do we have here? Okay, now's the perfect time to attack it. We're gonna
Let me
take this
strike,
while
my
it's
lord.
poorly
My
defended.
lord, should we spare any of them?
Okay. We should be able to defend against
Once I capture
that. It's
you,
not
your
that many.
title will mean
4 units
nothing,
against
infidel.
8. Make it
I
5 units
wonder
against
what
8.
I will cut first,
Maybe we'll win.
infidel.
If they attack us. Alright, where are we going next?
Your will.
Right, so these guys over here. Just send some troops down from Durazzo
Orders.
to maintain public
Onward.
order.
We march no further today.
Your orders, noble one.
I'll keep him there just for the time being. We gotta go back up north here
Of course,
and
my
move
lord.
into
We
Raska.
camp, men. We
Or maybe I
rest.
should move into here, Dalmatia. That would be richer territory. Yeah, let's take on Venice
Yes.
now.
Your Majesty.
Combining forces, my lord.
Before they get a chance to build up. Actually, I could really use some cavalry.
My lord. Traveling with God. Continuing tomorrow, my lord.
Your orders, noble one. We shall continue at first light.
Good, we'll have some considerable forces here to use.
Yes. Your
Yeah,
Majesty.
Athens is not under any threat, so yeah, bring it in.
A good day's march ends.
And
Your
you
orders?
come around to here,
For
so that I can get them around there a little bit quicker. Okay, so let's do some construction, then move on to the next turn. High taxes, let's go to very high taxes. What else do we need? Need more troops. The Castrofelake are pretty damn good units. But if we build up the town, the city hall, where is it? Oh, we need a huge city to be able to get Varangian Guard. So, if we want to get a huge city, well, it's going to take a while to get to that point. What we need to do is build up farming and things like that. Let's get the Castrofelake. That'll help in the meantime. It's not urgent that we get the Varangian Guard. They're not crucial. We don't really need them at all. Because I think Constantinople is really the only settlement we can guarantee is going to become a huge city. Another thing is that you kind of also have to wait for other settlements around it to grow, so that they can get the trade bonus to population growth. So at Archer there, yeah, this we're probably not going to be recruiting from here too often. So, in fact, I might even turn that into a town. Well, not this turn, because these settlements out here, I'm really just not going to be recruiting from them. There's already too many castles here. Be better off to get some towns and get more cash out of it in the long run.
Name thy enemy, lord.
Alright, let's move on.
Like this, my lord. Your will.
I remember when I did the role-playing campaign for England, and there were people that said, "Why not do this with stainless steel?" Funny thing is, if anyone ever starts a question with why not do something, honestly, that is a bad way to phrase any question. Because you could say that about anything. Why not do this? Why not do that? Look, the options when it comes to Total War games are almost limitless. Why not play with your finger up your ass? Why not fucking play Rome Total War? Why not play Medieval 1? Why not play Shogun 1? Why not do this? Why not do that? I don't have to give reason as to why not to do something. If you want me to do something, give me a reason to do something. Don't be like, why didn't I do something?
Your orders,
You know,
Noble One.
as oftentimes what I said, there is such a thing as bad questions. I know that in the way that the fucking PC culture that we live in right now, teachers will often say things, no such thing as a bad question, and I can fucking tell you that there is such a thing as a bad question. There's nothing wrong with curiosity, don't get me wrong, but there is such a thing as phrasing a question badly as to assume the answer in the question. Those are bad questions, and I don't like answering those questions because they're dishonest.
Your orders, Noble One. It is an honor to...
And if you ever want to ask me, or anyone with any real integrity, a question, always do your utmost to ask it in an effective way. Obviously, if English isn't your first language, I don't expect you to be able to articulate it perfectly. But you should never start a question with why not do something.
Command me.
Because you get... It's a question with infinite number of answers.
Name thy enemy, Lord.
Or really, no answer needs to be given at all.
Who do I face?
Which is what I do.
No,
When someone says,
I
why
can't
not
go
do
there.
something, I just don't answer
We
it.
shall
It's like,
send them to hell.
why not shut the fuck up?
Orders?
Why don't you mind your own
Yes,
business?
my lord. This is where we shall meet the enemy.
Alright, let's do this.
Men, bring out people of honor.
So we'll have 2 units
glory,
up on the
and
wall.
most of all,
How many siege weapons should we have? I think 2. Well, we just need to attack wherever they aren't.
units, await my orders.
Oh, I got 3. Okay, cool. So we'll put you through there. You round over here, and you round over here. So obviously this is the place we're going to attack because they've not left it well defended. These are some of the best units, I reckon, because they've got good morale, they hold their line really well, they're not too expensive, they're not hard to get, they just perform really well.
The ladders are now in place.
Yeah, that's
Walls
undefended.
are no match for valor and force of arms.
Right, so the units that we're up against, we've got Turkish archers and spear militia. So I should try and get these cavalry in there as soon as possible to try and take out the Turkish archers, because they'll be good against that. The Akontistai should shoot the bodyguard. They probably won't have enough ammunition to kill them all. And then we'll send the spearmen in to fight. And really, you shouldn't need to do much at all. Maybe
The battering ram is in place.
when I fight the spearmen,
Will
you
not be
can.
long before our enemy's
Don't
defense
ever
is
fight up on the walls if you can avoid it. It's never worth it. You'll always take more casualties than you should. You should have otherwise. Come on, Gate. God damn it, hurry up.
Give grace to God. We have captured the enemy's walls. Our men have done well. The gates have fallen.
Right. If we walk in there, these guys are just going to die. So if you could just shoot them from here, that would be best. Don't dick around, just shoot them now. Now's your best chance. Dicking around. Get in here. Like, not fully in, just enough so they can see them. Definitely worth doing it because these are strong units here. Fire faster. They're not all using their ammunition, but that's okay. Oh shit, what's going on here? Fuck. While I'm shooting them, they were shooting me in the back. Oh well.
It is unwise to praise the day before sunset, but our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory.
Maybe this was a mistake there, because these spearmen, oh, they're not really that good against cavalry. Yeah, okay. Because they're not, they are still shooting. You're gonna have to pull through faster.
It is unwise to praise the day before sunset, but our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory. Only half the enemy force remains.
Definitely think I took more casualties than I would have, or should have.
The enemy general lies dead. Good riddance to that death. The enemy, all of Christendom.
Nearly as many as they did, but that's okay. Still, they've lost something more important, which is that settlement. And for them to lose these settlements early on, it's really going to weaken the Turks.
The day is ours. The enemy are beaten. Noble lords, we have conquered.
Okay, so just leave them behind. Okay, recruit here. Yeah, I don't really want any more of them.
Orders? Yes.
Let's make our way over to Adana.
We continue tomorrow, my lord.
I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. We could always just besiege away from the Seljuks, and these guys here would crush them. It's when they get inside of a settlement they don't perform that well. Out in the open field, they're almost invincible.
Your orders.
I'm not going to worry too much about taking Sofia because it allows us to get it like a buffer state with the Hungarians.
Yes.
God's servant.
Orders. Onward.
Who do I face? Yes, Lord.
Got 5 generals in here. The Venetians don't know what's going to hit them. Yeah, if we can hit Ragusa and then make our way to Venice itself, that's going to be so good. Alright, how much mining income would we get? That's not too bad. It's not great though. So Kaffa, gotta keep building up the oh shit. There's not much in terms of troops here. It's gonna take a long time to grow. Okay, Trebizond needs better troops. Thessalonica needs money. Needs population growth. So I could probably lower the tax rates now. Okay, Smyrna. I think we'll just build that. There's not much we can build there. It's just a little town. Okay, with a bit of money left over. No mercenaries in the area. Okay, what can we get from Constantinople? Good bit of everything, I'll take. Because these are expensive to recruit, but they're not that expensive in upkeep, considering how strong they are. Well, that one's at its maximum, so let's just get that, because that'll continue to build up. Right, moving on.
I bring word from my people, noble lord.
You can't be trusted. No one can be trusted, so I might as well try and make a bit of cash out of him.
Be thankful. Something else you'd like to suggest? Very well. What else?
What I'll do
would
is
you
I'll
like
give
to
them a little
discuss?
gift. I wouldn't mind getting map for map information. No, they won't do it. Okay,
Cannot
fuck
goodbye.
off.
We look forward to our next meeting.
Yes? Yes, Lord.
Oh yeah, we're not assaulting that. Fuck that. Even besieging that, I'm like, ugh. I mean, they'll definitely sally out. I mean, infantry. I mean, what these guys will do is basically take the brunt of the first charge, but that'll weaken them enough for these guys to do the rest of the job. It's iffy as fuck,
Your will.
but I think
Yes.
there's a chance.
Closing for battle.
Not building siege equipment because there's no way in hell I'd assault that.
That is impossible. We march
I will
on
assault
our
that.
victims.
Just checking some other things
When
first.
shall we attack the wars then, my lord?
I can greet you, but not serve you, Lord.
Your orders, noble one. Moving at once.
Traveling with God. Yes.
Yes.
Good, we can make it to Ragus this way.
Yes, my lord.
And there's no one fucking well, barely anyone defending it.
Your orders,
I claim
noble
this
one.
land in the name
Yes.
of Rome.
Bless you, Lord. Back on dry land. Without question, we shall...
God's self.
Alright, let's attack Caesarea now.
Who do I face? We shall send them to hell or
And with this,
worse.
we pretty much take back Anatolia.
No matter how they beg, let...
Oh, wait, I feel like it's gonna get darker. Because the weather can sometimes change. Yeah, oh well, there's nothing I can do about it now. Alright, I want you to attack from over here, so that means you. You stay here, you stay back, and let's see how we go. Okay, good. Twirl in the wrong direction. Thing is, like using the keypads to move it, the camera around to rotate it. It's like I use the what's it called? The directional keys to move the camera around, and it's on the nub pad. 1 is to move around this way, 3 is the other way. But like 1 is closest to the pad, so it's a lot easier to click that. Because I often play in windowed mode, which means if I just, for example, right now, I can push it, rotate it this way. But if I just go like this, oh, it still works. Okay. But if I go too quickly, it goes onto the other monitor. Yeah. Why play windowed mode? I have found it crashes less. And also it allows me to read my emails and stuff as they come through. Yes, guys, I read my emails whilst I'm making videos, usually during load times. You guys don't even fucking realize it. There's no fucking time not to. You gotta be efficient with your time. You just don't have time to sit around being like, finger in my butthole, going. Don't have time for that shit. Yeah, I thought it was gonna go dark. I
The
hate
battering
this.
ram is in place. It will not be long before our enemy's defenses fall.
Right, so what have they got over here? They've only got cavalry. Okay, so what we want to do is get our archers up on the walls because they won't be able to do anything about it. Well, I don't know what they are. Turkomans, Turkopoles, no, Turkopoles. Don't think it's Fari cavalry.
The battering ram is in place. It will not be long before our enemy's defenses fall. The battering ram has done its work. Now is the time for brave hearts and brave deeds. Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
it doesn't happen often. So I just talked about something a little bit irrelevant. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Sometimes people will say things like, "Oh, why don't you get a real job instead of making low quality entertainment on YouTube?" I'm just like, man, I've never worked this hard in my fucking life. So what is it? It's Faro Cavalry. Didn't think it was. Okay. A lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and the thing is, in all honesty, smaller YouTubers don't help this because what smaller YouTubers, people who basically can't possibly be banking any real money off YouTube, they'll say things like, "Oh, you know, I just do this for fun. You know, it's just a hobby of mine," which is, you know, it's fine. You do YouTube for whatever reasons you want, but it's sort of like I experienced this sort of not behavior, but this mentality when I was a video editor, where, you know, I was trying to do it as a career, and you know, I would get undercut by people who were doing it as a hobby, who weren't charging any money. It's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm just doing it as a hobby." And it's like, you realise you just lost me work, you motherfucker. Just because I can't compete with no money at all, just because you were, I don't know, quite satisfied working at a grocery store. Like, I didn't do 6 years of university so I could work for free. That's why I can't stand the slave mentality or slave morality. It's the worst. People with slave morality honestly need to be taken out and shot. I mean, they already consider themselves worthless anyway, so what does it matter? I think there's 2 loads of this cavalry. Oh, so there's Turkish horse chargers and Faro cavalry. I just didn't see the Faro cavalry before. I guess these were the ones that were sitting inside the settlement. Doesn't matter if I lose a few archers. Oh, but that tower there is probably doing all the damage. Gotta be careful because he might. No, he'll be fine. Shoot Turkish horse archers.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Oh wait, there was no general in here. That was the Faro cavalry. Right, okay. See, I didn't really check to see what was in here before doing the battle. I thought it was a general. I don't think the Faro cavalry has a whole lot of ammunition. They're very good units, long-range missiles and everything, but they don't have a lot
Our
of
men.
ammo.
This is a clear victory that goes to all.
That went very well. If I had gone in with melee infantry, I would have lost spearmen. I would have lost a lot more troops. And all I lost was some crappy archers. Who gives a
We show
crap?
little mercy. They deserve none. We must.
Well, another good thing about
enemy's
sacking
streets.
settlements is that it allows me to just
Victory!
put down all the resistance and just keep moving, because we've got to finish off the Turks as fast as we can.
Your corpse will be thrown to the dogs.
Yeah, if you can win a fucking battle against me. So we've won 8 battles so far, lost none. But you know, losses will come. There'll be times in where we'll just be outnumbered by too much. They'll attack an undefended settlement, or it'll be a fucking naval fight. Like maybe over here they'll send a fleet and smash us. Yeah. Alright, what are we going to build? Got to get this population up so that we can get to higher tier units. Now we could lower the taxes here in Constantinople, but even at low taxes, we're not really going to increase the population enough, so we're better off keeping it high.
We are no threat to your fleet, Sadiq.
So, Mardin. I don't think they've got many settlements left. Let's have a look at the Turks. So, apparently they're still stronger than when they started. So, militarily, stronger than when they started. Production down, territory. They've still got a lot of settlements. They start off with 12. Financially strong. Cool. Well, the thing is, if we're going to, I guess we've got to define what the borders are of the Roman Empire at its peak. So it had like this territory here. I guess we'll conquer these. Not this area here. Down here. So not Kermanshah. Don't take that. Take everything south here. Take all this to this point here. They definitely had. They got to this coast here, and they conquered the Euphrates. So all the way up here. Take this, and they had Nabatea. So that's this territory here. So probably stop about there. Take all of Egypt. Yeah, why not? And since there's no settlements over this way, it's all just Sahara. All the way along here, capture all this, all of this, all this shit. And probably stop about here. Probably just don't take Marrakesh. Then capture all of Iberia. Conquer up to... We're going to pick, like, the Hadrian Wall is here. But this was the extent to which the Romans actually got to. So that's their peak. Then there's the Rhine. I think this is the Rhine here. They were definitely in this territory during the reign of Augustus, but just not. They didn't hold it for very long, and they never came back after the Battle of Teutoburg, I think. So we capture all the way through here, and this river can sort of be a bit of a guideline. Rivers are a great sort of ways to define borders. Take it. This is the Danube. Dacia they would have had, so capture this. This is Dacia. Capture this area here to connect up this, and that would be the borders of our empire. Once we've done that, we can either choose to continue on campaigning for, you know, whole map completion, or maybe just call it a day at that point. I'd probably just go with calling it a day. What's victory conditions? We'd have to take out Republic of Vendors, Kingdom of Sicily, Seljuk Sultanate. Okay. Well, obviously, Sicily and Venice are well within those borders, but if the Turks migrate out here, I won't be able to conquer them. I mean, I will be able to, just not if we want to create the Roman Empire in its perfect form as it had before. Well, perfect would have been whole map if they conquered the whole map. You know what I mean? All right, so let's. I think I've already done some recruitment. Get some more from here. Since we've got the money, let the troops flow. This is not really a great spot for a castle, because I never send troops down. I guess I could raise an army here and send it down south. I can't remember where all the settlements are. I think there's one there. It's not particularly valuable, so maybe don't worry about it right now. I don't know. We've got the money. Fuck it, let's get some troops. These guys need some employment. All the Muslims took the Jews. Need to go and take them back.
Is it not obvious I am your
Alright,
foe,
let's move
infidel?
on. Ah, fuck about them. That's alright. Okay, let's have a look. Well, it's better odds than what we had at Arta, but they're also better troops. This guy here, he looks a bit haggard. The Armenian cavalry and this general himself. So this is probably just general's bodyguard. Yeah. This is the hard part. So essentially, I'm quite happy to sacrifice my entire army here to win this battle, because we're way outpowered. But we gotta play this smart.
Our foes appear to be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
And that is, playing it smart means that you gotta recognize when you when you can win and when you can't. We can't save these guys, nor did I really need to. Just have them hold the ground when the cavalry, when the cavalry come after them. Actually, run back a little bit, have the cavalry chase them. Because I don't want them fighting the infantry. The cavalry can handle the infantry. I want my infantry to handle their cavalry. So let's just get them back a little bit. Because in sellout battles, they don't fight with any real cohesion. They don't wait for their whole forces to come out usually. Well, if they could just take the initial charge from the Armenian cavalry, then my heavier cavalry can finish off the rest. Okay, turn around. Stop. Oops. See, they don't do much. It might have actually been better if I let the Akontistai actually take the charge on that.
Only intervention by the Almighty Lord or a military genius can bring us victory from this disgrace.
Okay, I think these units are actually faster than me, so I'm probably not going to be able to catch them. Or get away from them, more like it. Just stay there. Gotta get rid of the Armenian cavalry, I'll handle him. Taking out the general is going to be a big bonus for us. How did the other cavalry go? We didn't take out much of that. You gotta shoot the Armenian cavalry. Things don't look so good at the beginning. Like I said, their cavalry was a major concern. Do these guys start off with like loads of experience? No. Why are my guys having a hard time with it? I'm really not feeling confident about this at the moment. Fuck, he was running away but somehow managed to kill my general's bodyguard on that. It's not looking good. We took way too much damage on that. Okay, quite a lot of their Armenian cavalry are gone. Okay, so don't worry about percentages right now. It's all about our cavalry.
Only intervention by the Almighty Lord or a military genius
a bit more than I can chew on
bring
this
us
one.
victory from this disgrace.
It just didn't go the way I wanted it to. If I had killed that enemy general, these Armenian cavalry won't be as much of a concern. See, taking on like Magyars is no big deal because they're like super light cavalry, but these Armenian cavalry are quite strong. Yeah, there's no hope here. Alright, the best we can try and do is try and save these guys' lives. So get rid of them and then let's just leave. I bet off way more than I can chew. Oh shit, there might not be any saving them. It's alright. Sometimes you gotta be bold and try new things. Let's get them out of here. Way more than much on this one. Okay, pull them back. God damn it. I don't think they're going to let us go. You might have to stay by and just hold them back. But at least so one of them gets away. Okay, he's dead, so you stay there. And you run away.
Only intervention by the Almighty Lord or a military genius can bring us victory from this disgrace.
Come on, you can get out. See, the Armenian cavalry, they're also fast. I can't get away in time. And, of course, my guys are just really slow. Oh, well. The thing is, losing generals is not really a big deal because
we have been dealt a
just getting new ones.
defeat to the...
But man, that was a big mistake.
Calling off the siege, my lord. We continue tomorrow.
I could have moved the army at Caesarea away. Could have moved them to back them up. Oh, hindsight, you're a bitch.
Orders?
Your Majesty.
Your will.
Because assaulting that is a nightmare. That would not be fun at all. Because that's a Mott and Bailey. Oh no, that wouldn't be too bad. A lot of Turkish archers in there though. Or Armenian archers. It's not easy to deal with.
Yes.
And it's for such a shit settlement.
Let me strike, my lord.
Your Majesty.
Just leave them behind.
Yes.
Oh, God, they don't make it.
Name thy enemy,
Only the
lord.
cavalry.
Your Majesty.
If I send the cavalry down here,
Yes.
they might sally out
Yes.
against us again. But we'd have a much better chance this time.
We march on our victims. Sooner or later.
Because their Armenian
we will
cavalry
repent,
are
my lord.
barely anything.
When shall we attack the walls then, my lord?
Also, we got a better
My
general.
lord, should we spare
Don't
any
bother
of
building
them?
siege equipment.
When shall we attack the walls then, my lord?
Your Majesty.
Just disband them. I think they deserve a rest.
Yes. March. A good day's march.
They might sally out, they might not. They probably won't though. Actually, if that's the case, build some
My lord,
siege weapons.
should we spare any of them? When shall we attack the walls then,
No, if
my
I
lord?
hire those Armenian cavalry, then they definitely won't sally out. And I kind of want them to sally out. I know that other battle was a disaster, but I knew I was biting off more than I can chew.
Your orders, noble
Alright,
one.
we'll do this battle here and
With
then we'll end
God's
the episode.
blessing and yours,
I think this can
we
be
march
auto
to
resolved.
battle.
Yeah, see, it lost 2.
A most honorable victory, my noble lord. Our courage has prevailed. These lands are yours, my lord.
Well, apart from the Battle of Adana here, everything's gone pretty well so far. We've gone from 15 regions to 21, and I know what's going to happen here. Despite everything, 99% of everything went really well, but people are going to be like, Adana, you fucking suck. You shouldn't have even done that. Yeah, I was just trying new things. Doesn't matter. Because that's what people do. They ignore all the good stuff you do and focus on the negative. It's irritating, but whatever, it's fine.
Your orders, noble one.
Orders.
That was a dumb
Yes.
move. But there was always a chance. I think that battle could have been won, but we didn't kill the enemy general during that fight. If we had killed the enemy general, there would have been a chance. We got to keep moving
We will not. Yes. Plotting course
against
now.
Venice.
Your orders, noble one.
So just leave the archers behind. Actually, no, leave one of them behind.
Your orders.
I really want to get to Venice itself. Like, there's Zagreb up here. Zagreb's not worth very much.
Yes, my lord.
Okay, and there's Ancona. Maybe we could stop up.
Your orders,
here.
noble one. Who do I face?
Yeah, we could. We could
Your
stop
orders,
here,
number
besiege
one.
it, take it,
God will be with us, men. To battle.
Yes.
and then move on to
Your
Venice.
orders, noble one.
Orders.
It is an honor to lead these armies.
And the
Admiring
Venetian navy
the
is here, so they'll probably destroy them.
Your orders.
God's self.
Oh jeez, I didn't leave enough troops here. Alright, go quickly build that to fix the public order. Can't even hire any more troops or build anything else for public order. Well, I can build the brothel, but I might as well do that. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot more troops we can hire. We've already got the recruitment orders filled out. So we'll just go into construction, move on to the next turn, and then we'll end the episode after the end turn. We'll see if they sell out again, because I want to have my revenge if possible. Because what I found is, like, especially early on the campaign, it really doesn't matter if you sacrifice a few non-important generals. Like, those generals didn't really matter at all, that was essentially sacrificed, because you can get new generals very easily, but only to a certain limit. Okay, well, I'm pretty much out of cash. Alright, let's move on. I hope they do sell out. It'd be funny if it crashed now. Right on an hour and a half. I hope they do sell it out. I want to have my revenge. No. No, I'll have to fight that. The old-fashioned way. See, we're already getting generals back. Where did he go? Good. This is exactly where I want them as well, so I can move forward up this way. We've got the Cumans up this way. So we'll send a force to go get them. We've almost got a full stack ready to go. Alright, cool. Well, that's the end of this episode, guys. So like and subscribe. Part 2 is next. And don't forget to visit me on Facebook. See you next time, fuckers.